This time on Hot Rod Garage, we try to not catch a case. Welcome back to Hot Rod Garage. I'm Tony Angelo. This is my buddy Lucky Costa.
Hello.
And on today's episode, we're gonna do something totally criminal. Imagine if you lived your life outside the law. You know, you're a wheelman for hire, buddies are bank robbers. That's all you do. You need a car that can evade the law. So what do? You find something totally innocent, basically
inconspicuous,
like a fuzzy pink bunny of a car. And that's what we have here.
It's a 1979 Chevy Malibu four-door in powder blue. Paint's worn down a little bit. It's unremarkable. It is not a mean-looking car, and it's perfect.
I drove a car like this in high school that my grandmother gave me, so this is a total grandmom car. Same color, same year, same specs, everything. It was not a
So this was your high school car?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah.
In driver's ed, this was the car I rolled. Does that date me?
Did anybody date you?
Yeah, no.
So this thing is going to be the ultimate getaway car. It's going to be hydraulic handbrake, crazy QA1 suspension, some off-road truck stuff, a Curry 9-inch, and some very special stunt suspension stuff we're doing that should make this thing ready for anything.
Stunt?
Stunt.
I like that.
But that stuff's all going to come in the next episode because our goal in this one is just to make this thing seriously powerful. We've got a 500 horsepower LS truck motor from our engine comparison episode.
I built that.
You did build it. So if it blows up, call that guy.
Tony worked on it.
And we've got a TKO 600 5-speed manual transmission for ultimate fun factor.
All right, so first thing we gotta do is pull out this anemic, badly running six-cylinder. I'm not even gonna drive it around. This thing is so pathetic, you're not missing anything.
I'm gonna ride with you on this.
Yeah,
Let's talk about scaring Lucky.
I do it.
Uh-oh. Started raining for no apparent reason.
Whoa, dude, come on, man. Don't scratch the patina. AC, not so much. Before on the firewall, I used to house the AC condenser and the heater core, but all that stuff just slows you down, affects performance and the handling. So took all that out with the blower motor. I'm going to make a flat block-off plate and block most of it off, and it's sort of quick and easy.
To make the Holley motor mounts work, we're gonna install some of these just sort of clamshell V8 Chevy style mounts. These are Anchor 2292 from a local parts store. They've been on a ton of Chevy V8 cars throughout time. So that's the solid V6 mount over here, new rubberized clamshell V8 mount. These clamshell mounts bolt right in as long as you drill all new holes.
See, I told you.
So I have top holes fit. I've got Sharpie marks on the bottom two holes. I'll center punch them, drill through them, and this will bolt right in. So we've got that V6 yanked out of the Malibu, and now it's time to put in our 6-liter truck LS motor. What we're gonna do is put these Holley LS into G-body specific motor mounts on. We're gonna just sit the engine in there and see how it fits, see if we have any kind of clearance issues, make sure we're happy with that. All right, ready? Let's see how this thing fits. Push, push. There we go. Whoa. Yeah, it's gonna be close. Looks pretty good. Happy with where it's sitting front to back. We're gonna get a different pan from Holley to give us more ground clearance because we wanna make sure we can get nuts in this thing. All right, let's yank it out. Put the trans on it. Boring up top and underneath.
This is going to be a mullet.
Yeah.
Business up top, party underneath.
So this is a transmission that we're going to use in the Malibu. It's a TKO 600 5-speed from American Powertrain. This thing is awesome. It's going to handle all the torque and power from this engine. And what's really cool is this White Lightning shifter setup that they have. It's basically adjustable to move the shifter into a million different combinations to get this thing dialed in exactly where it's supposed to sit in your car. So we're gonna throw this sweet QuickTime bell housing onto our TKO and then put the whole unit on the engine just for mock-up, figure out the mounts, get it all set up. Then we'll come back, put the flywheel in, dial in the hydraulics, all that stuff. This is just for mock-up.
Just lift up the back of the tranny. Thanks for watching my finger, pal.
You got it?
Drop it.
Please, just a little bit.
You mean just let it down?
Yeah, nice and easy.
Going down slowly.
It's not right. Went right in. Better double check this.
Engine and trans is in. We're pretty happy with how it fits. We're gonna have to get a Holley oil pan to give us a little bit more clearance to lower the motor, but we're like 90% of the way there. This is a bummer. This is my least favorite part, is taking it back out. Okay, so we've got the engine and trans yanked back out. We can do a little bit of massaging on the trans tunnel. We're gonna cut a shifter hole. I'm gonna add some metal to the frame so it can be a mount for that cross member. And while the engine is out, we're gonna put our new Holley higher clearance oil pan, clutch, flywheel, etc. in there, and then we'll put this thing in for good.
Look at that filth in there. So this is the factory windage tray. I'm going to have to cut a whole bunch of it off to put the low profile pan on here. Here's that Holley oil pan. A couple things you got to remember is you got to clearance the windage tray. You got to cut it right behind the second main cap and then notch it a little bit for the pickup tube. Make sure everything's clean. Use Loctite when you put the windage tray in the bottom of the pan. And put it together very carefully, like magic.
So while Lucky's finishing up putting on the oil pan, I'm gonna start working on the trans crossmember mount. This is one of the cars that has kind of this diagonal crossmember stock. We're gonna put an old school flat across style. So all I'm gonna do is use a little bit of 1x2 box tubing, weld it into the frame over here, gusset it in to give us enough frame back here that the trans crossmember will bolt in like it's supposed to. Perfect. I'm just gonna now triangulate it up to the other part of the frame so it's a little bit stiffer. All right, it looks pretty good.
So I just got done torquing down the billet flywheel we got from Hayes, along with their clutch. We're just waiting for a pilot bushing, and then this thing is gonna go together and go in. Here's a little tip. Don't ever forget to put on this when you use a scatter shield. The engine plate that goes between the block and the scatter shield is very important for measurements when you're doing the trans cross member and to seal everything to make it SFI approved.
So what we're gonna use for clutch hydraulics, since American Powertrain sent over their Hydromax system, the way a hydraulic throw-out bearing works is instead of a conventional fork, which would have a similar style actual bearing on the front of it, this thing is going to expand as hydraulic fluid is pumped in under high pressure from the pedal. That expands out, pushes in the clutch fingers, and releases the clutch. It's nice and simple because what they do is they have this pin bolt that's going to replace one of these bearing carrier bolts, and it will locate this whole system once everything is in, just like that. Lucky is test fitting the clutch, and we're going to get a measurement of how far the fingers are from the front of that bell housing, and that will allow us to shim this thing correctly. So I can take a straight edge and a ruler and measure and see how far out those fingers of the clutch are, take that measurement, go back over here to the transmission, and from this mounting surface of the bell housing, I'll measure to the face of this release bearing, and all you gotta do is insert the appropriate number of shims so that there is 1/8 inch of space between the face of this and those clutch fingers, and then everything should be happy.
And, hold on, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, easy, whoa. Do you like it when that happens, when you just wiggle it and it just slops right in? Okay, so the transmission is now married to the motor.
Till death do that part.
Till death, till they break.
One last thing to do before we put the engine and transmission in for good. I'm gonna cut a hole for a shifter before we get the engine and trans in. Lucky marked it. I see it. Time to cut it. Time to put this thing in once and for all.
Ready?
Yep.
Going down to Party Town. Trying to be fluid with this.
You're doing great. Can you come all the way off? There you go. There it is.
That was the money shot. Now we're gonna slap in these black heart headers from Hooker. That easy. They go right in. It's weird. It's like they were made for the car. Okay, so this engine and transmission is actually installed. The trans-cross member bolted right in. Right now, I'm gonna throw in the HP EFI wiring harness we got from Holly. I punched out the wiring harness for the air conditioning, because race cars don't have air conditioning, right, Tony?
Yeah.
So the harness is modified, and now the intake is going on for the last time.
So there's a couple reasons we wanted to put this style intake manifold on here. Number one, this is what we dynoed this engine on, so the tune is already basically set. But also, with a proper old school air cleaner, you know, a 14-inch round air cleaner, this is gonna look a little bit less noticeable to the fuzz. They pull us over.
The fuzz?
The fuzz. I'm about to install this White Lightning multi-position shifter from American Powertrain. So these cars actually did come manual, but they're super rare and you cannot get any of the old parts anymore. So I went out and found a little kit that the guy's making on 6speedmonty.com. Right now, I'm under the dash, disconnecting the booster. Once this is out, then there's a bunch of cutting on the firewall here, and then we'll cut the brake pedal. There's some website instructions, and I'm gonna just follow them the best I can. All right, so I have extracted the brake pedal and bracket from the Malibu, and what I'm gonna do basically is cut the pedal down to match this clutch pedal. Once that's done, it'll all bolt together as one piece, and the clutch pedal will rotate on this stock brake bracket. There you have it. Clutch pedal, brake pedal. All right, I've got the master cylinder disconnected from the booster. Pull the booster out. And then I'm gonna just sandwich this bracket that they've got made up between the two. All right, cool. Now it's time to cut some holes. Cool, all set. So I'm just gonna reinstall this for good. Holes cut. Fits great now. And then it's gonna go underneath, install my pedals. First thing I'm gonna do is get this back into place. Just gotta mount the clutch master, connect it to the clutch pedal, and then start bleeding it, and we should have a clutch that works.
So the list is getting shorter every minute. Right now, I'm installing the Holley fuel pump inside the tank that they supplied us with. They sent us the tanks that they have an agreement with, a company called Tanks, and these are specifically designed for fuel injection. It houses the pump inside the tank. The advantage of that is the fuel keeps the pump cool, and they last forever. It's ceramic coated, so that cuts the corrosion factor completely out of the loop. Goes together pretty smooth. And they give you instructions, which is kind of crazy. And I read them, and everything worked out perfectly. Lines right up. Perfect. Watch your cranium.
There it is. So we've got the fuel tank in place, it's got the pump in it, we're starting to run lines. So it's gonna be feed line to the filter I've got mounted, up into the rail
back out of the rail into a regulator we're gonna mount on the firewall, and then the whole fuel system is done.
Okay, if you guys remember from other episodes, putting the exhaust on is always a bunch of tomfoolery. But I'm replacing Tony with 2 ratchet straps, so it should go pretty smooth. He's not gonna see this, is he? Okay, I think those are Tony-proof.
I'm ready to finish up the clutch system. I'm gonna not use the clutch master that the guys at American Powertrain sent over because our bracketry from 6-speed Monty is basically configured for a 1996 to 02 Camaro F-body setup. So we bought one of those, and to use that with a proper AN line, tons of different companies make these little proprietary fittings. Since this is an O-ring, you push the piece in, secure it with a little drift pin, and then you have an outlet that you can put a proper AN line onto. So I'm just gonna stab it into place, tap this little dude with a hammer. That's it, that'll retain the fitting. I can bolt it up and we can connect it to the pedal. So the clutch is in, it's bled, seems to be working pretty well. We've got a couple things left to do. Throw a radiator in here and a fan, button up the power steering, maybe, put the hood back on this thing, and then we get to take it out and drive it.
Hit it.
Maiden voyage in the Malibu, and the motor and trans are in there. This thing runs good. Time to see what kind of a getaway car we've got here. Oh God, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Got some pep.
You got some pepper?
This American Powertrain trans feels good.
Yeah.
We LS and manual swapped this thing in no time. It's a really solid car. I don't think we have quite our getaway car just yet.
Yeah. It's missing something.
It's got some power though.
Don't catch the case.
So we've got the Malibu out. Clearly runs hard, a little bit of pinging, but trans is killer, clutch works good. The motor does pull strong.
Had a smoke issue earlier.
It did, but it went away quick.
Yeah, it did.
The suspension is super clapped out. We're gonna upgrade all that stuff in the next episode. But in the meantime, we're gonna try to throw some maneuvers at this thing anyway. Like what if, we rip up to a gate that's closed, I gotta throw it in reverse and haul out of there, and then maybe just a couple jackrabbit starts. Jump in the car, take off. What do you think? You ready?
How fortunate we have a gate that's closed right here. I figure how much trouble can you get into in this little lot?
Let's have some fun and see if we can't blow up this stock rear end.
Do I need a helmet?
Nah. We've all gotta die sometime.
Oh, jeez.
I just got started here.
Gate's closed. What's that?
Something like that. All right, you wanna see what it does?
See what it does.
That burnout's real good. Yo, 500 horsepower on 175 tires is hilarious. All right, let's just try to break it. He eats it right up.
I think that tire's coming apart.
Yeah, she's not gonna make it.
right there?
You got it. I got it. All right, well, he ain't gonna break. That's it, we're out of tires, man.
This is the one time Tony couldn't break it.
That's it for this episode of Hot Rod Garage. Our little Malibu is what we're calling this thing. It's ripping, but it needs some suspension upgrades, it needs some rear end upgrades, it needs some extra special stuff to make it the perfect getaway car.
I know a guy who can do that.
It's a killer burnout car.
Smoky burnouts.
Anyway, we'll get back to this thing. It will be awesome. Don't forget to check us out on social media between episodes. The show is Hot Rod Garage Show on Facebook and Instagram. My Instagram is Tangelo96.
I'm Mobile Tech Lucky.
See you guys next time.
See ya.